I miss your face.
I missed you. I'm so over this social distancing thing. Like, I get it, and I know we have to do it, but as soon as we don't have to anymore, baby,
I gotta go. I'm doing a drive-by. Not a drive-by. That's not a good word. I'm going to do a, what is it called? A parade. I'm going to have a parade, and I'm just gonna pull up in front of everybody's house and have everybody come on the float with me. And by the end of the day, it's a float full of niggas.
It's gonna be a hug parade. I'm gonna be squeezing, hugging, kissing everybody. If you don't like physical touch, don't come to my parade, honey.
Brooke, I'm glad you're here virtually. Everybody loves you, of course. I love you the most, but everybody loves you.
I love you the most.
During this new Terrell at home setup, it wasn't intended to really become this, but it has. We're just getting into it. We're talking about the topics that we've been meaning to talk about for the longest. We're deep diving into some things. We're singing, but mostly we're having a conversation because everybody has so much time to just listen and be at home and really soak in and have open minds.
Yeah.
So we're not holding back on Terrell at home, you know?
I love that. I've been watching Terrell at home. You don't even have to give me the lowdown, baby, because I've been watching, I've been tuning in. I'm not just a friend, I'm a fan, baby.
I love you.
I love you.
Yes, and the topics, they just kind of come out organically, because ain't nothing on this card. Look, it's blank. Ain't nothing up here. It's just in case I need time to just gather my thoughts. I'll look at the blank card and I'll put it down. Okay, we'll start with, what have you been doing to stay busy during this crazy time?
Well, I've been writing a lot to stay busy, just trying to write as much music as possible. I'm gonna be honest, I have not written as much as I wish I did in quarantine. Like, when I look at the songs I've written, I'm like, dang, like, I've just been stuck at home all day with nothing else to do, really, Brooke. But regardless, I've been writing some.
Yeah.
I've been binge watching movies, and I've been preparing for freaking Broadway.
Can we talk about it?
It's out, baby. It's out. It's out. The news is out.
I didn't know. Okay. Let's go back. So you told me the news back when we were doing Race to the Blue, like last summer, when we did the first episode of the online competition. That she was. Were you already on, or were you being considered at that time?
Okay, so at that time, which, by the way, feels so special because I had to keep that shit under lock. Like, I couldn't share with anyone. So, like, you were like, it was you, my best friend, and then my family, Bob, and my husband. Like, other than that, nobody else knew. So y'all special as hell. But
period.
No, at that time, I was just going for the reading, just to meet everyone, see if it was a good fit. The whole world was a new experience for me. So I was just like, if nothing even comes of this, I'm just happy I experienced it, you know?
Yes.
But baby,
it happened. I am so excited. I remember when Brooke came in here and she told me that she was about to hit Broadway. I think, why are you crying? Roxy's crying, Brooke.
Don't cry, Roxy. Yo, but listen. Do you want to hear something really special? And it's going to sound funny because I'm dumb, but literally, Terrell, you are a prophet. Like, because I don't think I had ever publicly spoken about the fact that I want to go to Broadway in the future. Like, I never talked about that. I never talked about how that was like something that I wanted to accomplish in my life. But mainly because I didn't expect it to be in the near future. I thought Mama was going to have to learn more stuff before she jumped into it. Because I always went to like high schools that were so small. I mean, like, we didn't have enough people to have a drama department.
Right.
You know, so theater experience, 0. But I think it was the first post after our first episode together meeting, you said, okay, somebody needs to tell Brooke, or somebody needs to take Brooke Simpson to Broadway, okay? I
remember saying that.
I remember thinking like, dang, nobody's actually ever voiced that before. But like, literally, the universe, Jesus himself, he heard you. And he said, all right, you know what? Terrell is mine anointed, so I'm gonna make it happen. Like,
Listen,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm a genie in a bottle. Gotta rub me the right way. I'm trying to tell you. Can we tell them what the show is and what your role is? Okay, go for it. Just go ham.
Okay, so this is going to be directed by Diane Paulus, who is insane. I mean, Waitress, Jagged Little Pill, Pippin, all that jazz, right? She is reviving the musical 1776, which is all about, Abby, can you chill? Stop putting your booty in the camera. Okay, she is reviving the musical 1776, which is a Tony Award-winning musical, and is all about the revolution, or the American Revolution, and the Declaration of Independence, and us coming together as a nation.
I love that.
But it's just going to be really interesting to see it and see the parallels of how it's so similar to our country now. Like, you think a lot has changed, but it has not. I'm so excited for y'all to see it.
I'm excited too, because everybody know I love history. I love the American Revolution.
Oh, baby.
What? Huh? What'd you say? I know. I have Gone with the Wind, the book on my floor. That's the Civil War. That's about 80 years, 90 years later. But that's close. Yeah, the American Revolution and Civil War was about 100 years apart. That's okay. Yeah, everybody can't be us, bro. There's just historians in these streets. So, can we know the role that you're playing?
Yes, I will be portraying Roger Sherman of Connecticut. He was one of our founding fathers. He was a real bad bitch. No, I'm just kidding. No, but he for real, he was awesome. And I'm excited to show you guys Roger. Just call me Roger.
You said that when you guys were doing some of the studying, you found out some things about the history that you were never taught. What is one of those things that you discovered?
Something that I didn't know was, did you know that in the original Declaration of Independence, there, and I'm not spoiling anything because like people know the play and the musical, but there was an original clause in the Declaration of Independence that was supposed to abolish slavery. Like years ago. Like, I mean, years before it actually happened. But the only way
90
that everyone,
years.
Right. And the only way that all colonies would sign was if they took that out. Granted, like so much damage had already been done. It's one of America's original sins, but there's so much pain that we could have skipped for future generations, at least at that time. You know what I mean? If they had just left that in there, but they took it out because if they all couldn't make a unanimous decision to sign it, I know. Child. And baby, there is something in the Declaration of Independence that talks crap about me. I mean, not personally, but it talks about the merciless Indian savages.
Wow.
I know. They racist.
I mean, yeah. And it's crazy because, and even if they would have took it out, I mean, even when slavery was eventually abolished in 1865, there was still Jim Crow, there was still segregation. Oh, I mean, it's... I mean, everybody knows that year, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying though, still, you gotta drop them numbers.
Anyway.
What year was I born?
You was born in 89.
Nah, damn, baby.
Shit.
It's all right.
Am I close?
Yeah, you're 2 years away.
87.
I'm younger!
91.
Yes! Wow!
You know what? It's because you're married.
That's what it is.
I always think when people are married that they're older. Because when I think about marriage and myself, I'd be like, I got 13 years left before I even start thinking about it.
Honey, thank God me and Ray got it right. Like,
yes,
thank
y'all
God
did.
we got it right. Because, like, on the East Coast, I feel like, especially in the South, you are so encouraged to get married young and hurry up and have babies before your eggs fry. Like, you know what I mean? So we got married hella young. And we always say to each other all the time, like, thank God that we were, like, we picked right. Like, you know what I mean? And we did it right. I mean, not saying that young is right, but thank God since we were so young and so stupid and made this huge decision, then it was the right one, you know?
How was it getting married? How old are you when you were married again?
I was 22 when I got married.
22. I think you're the youngest person that I know that is married or that got married that young. How did you guys come to that decision so early, and you've been in it for almost 7 years?
Yeah, next year it'll be 7 years.
What is the secret, baby?
Just keep having fun and marry your best friend. That's the hugest thing. That's the hugest.
Tell people.
Oh my God! Wait, lift up your leg. What sweatpants do you have on?
Do you have these?
I'm gonna go run.
Okay, I'll go with you. Go.
I'm just kidding. Save your breath. Sit down and sip the drink. Marry your best friend. That's my thing, because when you get married, you are supposed to always love them, but you're not gonna always like them, like at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have hard times, especially once the honeymoon stage is over. But I feel like that's the key. Marry your best friend, because even when all the romantic stuff gets out of the way, like, you can just talk. Like if there's an issue, like, okay, tell me what's really wrong. You're my best friend. I want to solve this. Da da da. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. But at 22, would you say that you're still just discovering who you are as a person?
And also, I guess that's something else I would say. Someone that will give you, especially if you get married that young, someone that's going to give you the time and the space to do that. Because like we both were still figuring out who we are. I feel like that's not even something that you finally reach it. It's not like you hit 25 or you hit 30 and you're like, all right, know who I am. Like, because you're daily evolving every day, ever changing. But like, Ray has just been so great. Like, when I went on The Voice, I remember seeing so many girls freaking out because their boyfriends or their fiancés were so upset that they wouldn't call them right on time and talk to them for this many hours a night. But there was so many nights that we just didn't talk, but it's because he knew I was having an experience I had never had in my life. I was meeting new people, learning more about myself in music. Like, you know what I mean? He, just someone that's understanding, gives you your space to grow, your best friend.
Now that you're 7 years into marriage and you're not even 30 yet, what would you say to your newlywed self? What advice would you give your newlywed self?
I would give my newlywed self, get your head out of your butthole. I don't know. I feel like I would, especially like in the early stages, there were so many times where I would just so easily get butthurt or so easily get sensitive over the stupidest things. And there were so many times when I was pouting that I could have been enjoying life. So I don't know, get my head out of my ass and get over myself and know that there's more feelings beyond myself. I don't know if that's a Gemini thing, but like every once in a while, I would just feel like, oh my God, the whole world is out to get me, you know? I remember there was one song that I wanted to write so badly. So we went with these people and I told them I wanted to write a song about understanding the other person, because I feel like so easily I can get caught up in my head and what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and why I'm so tired and frustrated. So we wrote this song called Take Care of You. And the first verse, it started with, you must be so tired, or I'll sing it. You must be so tired, cuts and bruises from years past, so tired, worn and weary from secrets you hide. You must be so tired. Oh. And when we wrote that first verse and I sang it out loud for the first time, I just started bawling.
Brooke knows a thing or two about writing a song, okay? I have witnessed firsthand. I have firsthand experience.
And let me say,
on my
album, knows something about writing too, because I have firsthand experience. The night that we wrote that song, it was such a good one, and we were just vulnerable, having a honest conversation about past relationships and stuff, and then Untouchable came.
Girl, go ahead and sing it. You know it.
So close. I don't know if I'm in the right key. Too far. Untouchable. So find, untouchable. I just wanna be where you are. Yeah. I just wanna be where you are. So here I am in the same old place. I can't with the same old tears in the same heartbreak. Oh, I wish I knew my worth, then maybe this wouldn't hurt. But things don't always go my way. Oh, me and love ain't on the same page. I keep falling for the ones who don't ever reciprocate it. So close, oh too far, untouchable. I definitely started in too low of a key, but what's the high note later? Oh, well, I mean, again, I'm in the wrong key, but
who cares?
So close to untouchable.
Period.
Period.
When I tell you to hear you guys' voice on words that we wrote down on paper, in our notes, in our phones, based on something that actually happened to me, to then hear that ready at any time I want to go on Spotify. And it's just a click away. When I tell you I bawled crying, the first time I heard the album, I think when the album came out, I had a bunch of people in my apartment. But the first chance I got to listen to it on Spotify or whatever alone, I was so emotional. And it's that B side of the album, it's that second half of the album that really gets me.
I know that like we're here for you to interview me and stuff, but let me just tell you, let me brag on you for a minute.
Oh Lord,
that
Jesus.
you were able to get so many people, like out of everyone that you have had on your show, I know it's not this, but I feel like it's been thousands. Like your show has been so successful and has been going on for so long, and you've just been getting like TV personality after music personality after all of these different artists. And then finally, like you put this project together, and I think it says so much about your character and your integrity that they were willing to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of work. I mean, I know, especially like, I don't know, everyone has a busy schedule, but there's so many people on that. Because when you were making the album, baby, I had a whole month free. I was like, please let me know when you're ready to go in the studio.
Yeah.
I will vocal produce. I will write for you.
Yes.
I will do whatever you need. But I know like there were so many people that did not have time in that month free, but they made it free for you. And that just speaks to who you are as a person, to your spirit, to your integrity, your character. You are just something else. And you know what's so crazy? I'm even trying to pour into you right now. I swear to God I'm not, but I am, but this is like what you're doing right now. It's so special and it's reaching so many people. It's not even the beginning. It's just the beginning. Better yet, sorry. I think I'm feeling the tequila in the midst of my
drink more of it.
Propheticness.
Yes.
But like literally, this is just the beginning. I know you've been doing it for a few years, but baby, it's just the beginning.
Ain't that a blessing? I know that's right. Thank you for saying that, because especially the thing about everybody's schedules, I've really looked back at that time and I'm like, how the F did we pull that off? People were stopping by the studio during their stop on their tour, their LA stop. You know, they were in LA for 2 days. They were on a full-fledged tour, and they're like, I got 2 days. One day I got to do a show. The other day I'm coming to the studio to do your stuff. And I'm like, wow, that is such... That's supposed to be a rest day, you know, or you're there to rehearse for the next thing or whatever. And they were coming by and they were just, and doing whatever I asked them to do and just being so supportive. And that is nothing but God, because when I tell you we were broke,
No, I feel
Brookie?
you. It
We had
is
no money
all
to do
God,
nothing.
But it's him through you, baby.
What was it like being in the studio with Lex? Everybody saw that and they kind of, saw the behind the scenes, but just coming from you, because even during the Race to the Blue, you were like, girl, if you want to do a song together, boom, we can do it. And then it happened.
It was so special to finally meet Lex in person because, after doing the Race to the Blue competition with you guys, I had only seen everyone virtually from their videos that they would send in for the competition, but I had never met anyone in person yet. So actually seeing Lex in person, and after all those weeks of us giving her critiques and telling her how to be better and all this stuff, it was like seeing her in person. I felt like I was meeting my long lost child. I was like, my bosom, it's your home. Come to it now. I was just so happy to see her, but also I knew you had like a great idea of putting me and her together from the get-go. But bruh, the moment we heard just the rough draft of what we had just recorded in that room of our voices together and how they complemented each other so well and how the tones complemented each other, I was like, Terrell's a genius.
Oh God.
This is dumb. This is crazy.
That literally, yes, that is exactly what she said. I remember when you heard the first draft, she's like, this is stupid. Because that's how Brooke does. She uses stupid and dumb and it means the opposite.
Exactly. When I say you're an idiot, you are stupid, that means you're a genius, you are brilliant, you are talented. But
you are important.
You are
smart.
What is it?
You is kind.
You is impotent. Let's leave it to Octavia Davis.
Octavia Davis?
Or is it Viola
Did you just
Davis?
combine two different women? Oh God.
You and me will always be tight, family every single day and night. Even when you start acting like a fool, I'm loving every single thing you do. I know that I can always be myself around you more than anybody else. There's no one I love as much as you. Family, family. Proud family, they'll make you sing. They'll make you. I'm not saying words. Proud family, truly.
I cannot wait for this to be done so I can come see you on Broadway.
I know. Oh my God. We're going to get a New York slice.
That's all I want. I want to see you up there because like I said before, your voice and your personality, and I know you got these acting chops, all of that together. I mean, thank God you grew up being loud because Broadway, you don't get no microphone right here. It's a little tiny ass little microphone come out your wig.
You better be loud, baby.
And you got
better
to
project.
Count me in, girl. When the first date come, I'm gonna be right there, front row and center. Well, maybe not the front row, because the Broadway, you gotta be real respectful. And I'm kind of loud and black. I'm gonna sit in the back. Oh, wait, I'll sit in the middle.
Yeah, there you go.
Better. Brooke, I want you to take us out of this video with Brooke as Jessie Reyes singing the Terrell Show goodbye song. That's not written.
Okay, but as Jessie Reyes?
Yes.
Oh, well, I hate to say goodbye, I don't want to go, but you got the lineup of girls and a lineup of guys trying to tune in with Wi-Fi figures, 'cause you're so popular, I'm sick for your love. All right, I'm gonna go stand in the middle of moving traffic. Who else?
Bye, girl.
Bye. I love you so much. Jessie Reyes, I love you.
Hey, thanks for watching Terrell at Home. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more, just go to www.theterrellshow.com to get more. Just cut.